Picture this, in Pokémon Pearl, my character enters the contest hall, ready to take on the competition of the contest world. However, when my character is prompted to change into an outfit for the contest, my character twirls and spins, and suddenly I'm in a suit. That suit gave me a wave of dysphoria that fundamentally changed the course of my life. So thus, I did what any cis person would do. I deleted my save file and swapped to the girl. Here's the story of how Pokémon used Giga Impact on my egg and shattered it into tiny little pieces. When you open a Pokémon game, you are prompted with a simple question. Are you a boy or are you a girl? However, this simple question became much more complicated the more I thought about it over the years. Simply put, I wanted to play as the girl for some reason. A lot, actually. Especially in Pokémon Pearl. I just loved Dawn's design so much. And when I got up to the contest section of the game again, when I twirled around, suddenly I was in a cute pretty dress. And that felt nice. It felt different. When my character was in a tuxedo, I felt this feeling of anxiousness, kind of uneasiness. I didn't like it. But when I was in a dress, suddenly I felt happy and excited and I was ready to take on the contest show and get all those ribbons. In a Pokémon contest, instead of using wild animals to fight each other, you use those wild animals to put on a beautiful show. I really liked this when I was little. Like, the anime was airing around the time I was playing this game, and I frequently loved the episodes where either May or Dawn took on the Pokémon contests. I thought it was really cool, and it's a kind of media I wasn't able to be exposed to. Something that really stuck to me about these kind of games was suddenly I was allowed to like a thing with cute little animals in it. Because other franchises that did such a thing would have been deemed girly. But Pokémon managed to do it in a way where no one really gave it any second thought. I got all sorts of Pokémon plushies as a little kid and still do. And I think that expression and being able to play with these kind of toys instead of like manly rough toys were a really big part of generally my understanding of my own gender as I grew up. I wouldn't have been able to buy such plushies if I wasn't into Pokemon. So in a weird way, Pokemon enabled me the ability to play with kind of girly toys, but really they're for everyone. But they were cute, and the cute stuff made me really happy. A part that we kind of take for granted nowadays is in the early 2000s especially, there weren't that many games where you could play as a woman, right? And the ones where you could were usually marketed to women, such as Bratz or like Style Boutique or that kind of thing, right? And it was a really empowering thing for me when I could play as a girl in these Pokemon games and realize that women can save the world too, right? There weren't that many games around where women could also like take on the evil team and like save the world and that kind of thing. I know it's a really simple thing, and especially nowadays it's pretty trivial. There's so many games nowadays where you can play as women and women can save the world. I think that message is more clear nowadays. But I feel like in most video games I played as a little kid, women were usually sidelined and weren't able to be a part of the whole like action team or that kind of thing. So the fact I could play as a girl and go on all these adventures as a girl really helped me like break down internalized gender biases, because women can do anything a man can do, and Pokemon of all things taught me that. Why not? Considering there's more Pokemon spin-offs than there are stars in the galaxy, I can't cover all of them for the sake of this video. However, I would love to mention Pokemon Ranger's Shadow of Olmia for contributing to the shattering of my egg. So I actually didn't finish this game until I was an adult. However, when I was a kid, I played the start of the game over and over and over and over. Specifically the intro of the game where you're in the school. Now, why did I play the first hour of the game over and over and over and over and over? Well, one reason, lovely audience. When you pick the boy or girl, it actually chooses which dorm room you're in the school. So if you pick the girl, you're in the girls' dorm room and you get to be a schoolgirl at school. So as a result, I would pick the girl, play the first hour of the game to experience being a schoolgirl, and then restart the game, and then do it again. I did this so many times. I cannot express how many times I have done this 1 hour of the game, okay? I could probably write a book on it. While it's not within the scope of this video essay, I do recommend Shadows of Olmir if you haven't played it yet. Good luck getting a copy on eBay! So after Generation 4 is finished, we of course go to Generation 5, and I was all in on the Pokemon train at this point. However, a lot of people are starting to drop off. But social pressure still remained, lovely audience. Because of it, I picked the boy in Generation 5, surprisingly, and as a result, I actually didn't play it that much. It's actually the only Pokemon game I never beat. I mean, I bought Black and White too when those came out, but with that one, I compromised again because there was a slightly androgynous looking male protagonist, so I went for that, and it didn't make me feel better. I didn't play that one much either. Heck, I played that one less. That said, if I was playing as a girl, I probably would have been all over Pokestar Studios, so I have a bit of a regret of never playing those. But after Generation 5's games wrapped up, Generation 6 came back just to destroy any semblance of egg I had left. In Pokemon X and Y, you could customize your trainer in all sorts of cute clothes, so as a result, Style Boutique came to me. Suddenly, I could dress up in all these cute outfits in the game without anyone questioning my decisions. It's no secret that the fashion in Pokemon X and Y dramatically influenced the clothes I wear today, to be honest with you. I had so much fun exploring these outfits and it has left a profound effect on me, for sure. So it was during this particular Pokemon generation that I really got into the rhythm of being a girl, so to speak. As at school I'm starting to use she, her pronouns, in the game I'm roller skating around as a cool, cute girl. It was really nice for me, really euphoric, and it really left an impact. Towards the end of high school, Sun and Moon came out. Sun and Moon were the Generation 7 games, and this also was a really fun time for me. Heck, Alola's probably my favorite region in the entire franchise. But there's one key part of it that really helped me with my transition. This felt like the blossoming stage, so to speak. I was very, very confident that I was going to live as a girl. And I was telling friends, I was dressing up, I was going to the shops as a girl, and then suddenly this Pokemon game comes out. And I had one look at the water starter, and I was like, I like this goofy little seal, I'm gonna pick them. So I picked the water type starter in basically every Pokemon game except X and Y. And as a result, I have a very strong attachment to them. And what surprised me was that the water starter in Sun and Moon's pretty dang transcoded, I won't lie to you, lovely audience. Here's what I mean. Poplio is kind of when you're being like a goofy little guy and you're trying to find your place in things. Brionne is like when you're trying out cute clothes for the first time and feeling trans joy. And Primarina is when you're blossoming into a trans woman. As you can imagine, as I'm blossoming into my true self in real life, it was really cool to be able to play through the game with a mermaid seal thing that sings. I love it. They literally find their true voice. This is a big moment for me. So when I played the Pokemon games, I would like make up a fake name for myself, right? No matter what gender I played as, I actually have never used my birth name in any of the Pokemon games at any stage of my entire life. However, in Sun and Moon, it was the first time I picked my IRL chosen name. So in a sense, instead of separating myself from the character, I was finally allowing myself to say, yeah, that's meant to be me, you know? And that was huge. So while there's no specific trans milestones in the games after this, I was still slowly transitioning and being myself, and Pokemon was always that thing that was there. It's kind of cool that like throughout these stages of transition, I've had these cute virtual little Pokemon that when I transfer them to future games, I still have them. They're still there. It's kind of cool that in Scarlet and Violet, I can fight with the same Primarina that I had back then. It's kind of cool. The franchise has a huge focus of the bonds between you and Pokemon and also your expression as a trainer. I think the games do a really good job at self-expression. I mean, like, you pick all these Pokemon and you take them with you and your choices of Pokemon express something about yourself in a way. Though that all said, I hope future games lets me wear a skirt again. I find it really weird that Scarlet and Violet does not let you wear a skirt at all, so this is my plea to Game Freak, please put skirts back in Pokemon, thank you. Pokemon will always have a very special place in my heart. Yes, it's a funny little video game, but it's like a special little video game that means a lot to me. And it's been there for me in various parts of my transition, and it's kind of cool seeing how I started expressing myself more and more throughout these games, and being able to take those parts of the games with me to future titles, such as bringing that Primarina with me into Scarlet and Violet, for example. It's really cool to be able to express yourself in that way. And it's kind of cool to have those little memories and those little pieces of the past. If you also have a trans-related memory of the Pokemon franchise, be sure to let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear it. But other than that, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more trans-related content every week, feel free to hit the funny subscribe button, the like button, and leave a funny little comment. And I hope you join me for a future video. If you want to see more videos about trans representation in media, let me know. I got a pretty positive reception from like the other ones, so I'd like to keep doing them. If you enjoyed, please let me know. Until then, stay hydrated and know that you are valid.